By the late 1960s, a next-generation Trabant was already being tested on the roads of East Germany. Then, one night, a call came from East Berlin. When the Trabant 601 was introduced in 1964, even its developers expected it to remain in production for only about 5 years. For this reason, Sachsenring, the East German manufacturer of the Trabant, received the contract for the successor model, the P603, in late 1966. 9 prototypes were built and tested in Saxony, East Germany. The P603 had front-wheel drive, a large tailgate, and a lightweight plastic body. It looked significantly more modern than the 601. Various engines were also tested, ranging from the well-known 2-stroke engine to Škoda and Wartburg engines, and even a Wankel engine. But the problem wasn't the car itself, it was its production. A new model would have required new tools, equipment, and supply chains, investments running into the billions. In November 1968, an order therefore came from Berlin: halt development, hand over the documents, and destroy the prototypes. Chief Engineer Werner Lang objected and was subsequently transferred to another plant for 2 years. The decision had thus long since become a political one. Shortly thereafter, a new idea emerged. In collaboration with Czechoslovakia, a so-called Comecon car was to replace the Trabant, Wartburg, and Škoda. A joint model was intended to cut costs, but there was already disagreement over the drivetrain. East Germany wanted front-wheel drive, while Škoda initially favored rear-wheel drive. Political compromises made the project increasingly complicated and expensive. Eventually, East Germany pulled out. Nevertheless, the developers did not give up. The P760 later evolved into the P610, also known as the P1100 or P1300. It was more than just a design study. Test reports, flow tests, patent reviews, and production studies showed just how seriously preparations for mass production were taken. But on November 6, 1979, the Politburo brought research and development in East German passenger car manufacturing to a virtual standstill. The reasoning was particularly bitter. Because there were so many orders for the Trabant, it was considered a success. But the waiting lists were not a sign of a modern product. Rather, they were a symptom of scarcity. Almost every car produced was sold anyway. A new model therefore meant above all, costs and risk. It wasn't until the 1980s that East Germany purchased the technology for a Polo engine from Volkswagen. But instead of a true successor, the old Trabant was simply given a new engine. By the time the Trabant 1.1 finally hit the market, its body was already outdated, and after the fall of the Berlin Wall, it suddenly had to compete against new and used Western cars. So the next generation Trabant didn't fail because of a lack of ideas. It failed because of expensive factory retooling, political compromises, and a system that confused years-long waiting lists with being competitive. East Germany built several potential successors to the Trabant. Not one of them ever reached the showroom.